The Radeon HD 4870X2 is not a replay of the 3870X2, and it's a nice step up from the 4870. The 3870X2 dedicates 512 megabytes to each processor, making 1 gigabyte of total memory on the card, but it uses GDDR3. The 4870 uses GDDR5 with its single GPU, but it's only 512 megabytes total. The 4870X2 comes with 1 gigabyte of GDDR5 for each processor. That's 2 gigabytes total, yielding 230 gigabytes per second of theoretical peak memory bandwidth. Let's be clear, the same data has to occupy both sets of memory, but because we now have twice as much memory as before, the end result is significantly better performance than we've seen from earlier cards. The 3870X2 used a first-gen PCI Express bridge chip to run a bidirectional bi-16 2.5 gigabyte per second line to each GPU, as well as down to the card's edge connector. The 4870X2's move to PCI Express 2.0 doubles the bandwidth of each bi-16 connection to 5 gigabytes per second. Additionally, AMD now builds a CrossfireX side port connector into each GPU. This enables a proprietary 5 gigabyte per second direct connection between the two GPUs that will be used as sort of an overflow conduit if and when the primary bus through the bridge chip ever gets saturated. All told, that's 21.8 gigabytes per second of interconnect bandwidth. With the side port lying in wait for later, the new X2's performance advantages are mostly due to the larger frame buffer, but that's enough. Independent high-load gaming benchmarks from Tom's Hardware show impressive results when testing the 4870X2 against the regular 4870. And Tom shows that the 4870X2 outputs just 4.5 decibels more under load than the regular 4870. AMD's in-house numbers when testing the 4870X2 against a pair of 4870 cards in CrossfireX show performance gains of up to 20%. Going from dual to quad GPUs, AMD reports up to 80% improvement in scaling from one 4870X2 card to two. Compared to buying a pair of 4870 cards, the 4870X2 consumes half the slots, delivers more performance, promises to scale better with time, and leaves about $50 or so in your pocket.